morning.
Good morning.
I'm Bridget.
And I'm not Wendy.
I know. Wendy's on vacation.
Yes.
I'm so excited to have you here.
My name is Alyssa, and I am a day one listener. I've never called in, but I have messaged the pod on the Facebook. And this is
Flickin' Beans. Okay, so I actually am going to blow your mind right now. Do you realize, number one fan, that this is our 100th episode?
Shut up.
I know.
100 already?
100.
Oh my God. I remember I was listening, it was in the shower, of course, right? All the good thoughts. When you guys hit 52, and I'm like, this means that's a year. So like 100 is big. This is 100?
Yeah.
Sorry, Wendy.
Oh.
I got it.
That's okay. She's on vacation, but I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate than having you here.
Woo!
Woo! Okay, so we're going to talk about like your favorite movie ever, Wine Country.
Wine Country.
And I know you have a lot to say.
I do. I don't think I have as many pages of things to say, but I have a lot more in my head and my heart.
This is a whole lot of pages because of my boyfriend, Chad GPT.
Yeah.
This was a letdown as far as plot points went. And you're the one that pointed out it said Molly Shannon is in it. What the heck?
There was a lot that Chat GPT got wrong, and that's my first place of, may I offer you some feedback?
May I offer you some feedback? Feedback.
That's one of my favorite things in this movie.
Uh-huh.
So, first of all, I have to shout out my college roommates. Uh-huh. So, in 2020, we watched this together, and I think we had already seen it once when every year we get together. I don't want to say how many years we've known each other now, because we're only 27. But in 2020, we decided when Netflix came out and said, like, hey, we're going to do this watch party. We tried to watch party this movie. I think that was one of the first times where we realized that the main characters here we were a representation of them.
Right.
They were us. Like, this is where, you know what, that part of like, I am art. Am I art?
Yeah.
Yes. And yes, we are, because we saw Heather is Abby, very organized planner person, and Paul is definitely Naomi, the parent who needs to rock out with her bleep out. Melanie is Rebecca, and just absolutely somebody you could go to get information and advice, somebody who wants to make sure everybody's having a good time as well. I am Val, not because she's, as you might say, a lady golfer, which is still one of my favorite terms.
Wait, also border collie enthusiast.
Right, exactly. But there's a lot about her of like kind of being a people pleaser, and then as they roll up, her conversation with the Uber driver, getting that in depth on a quick ride with somebody. Like, I'm always the person who ends up having to sit up front, and I do make friends. And I will try that manicotti recipe.
Yeah, I think that.
Katie is our Catherine. She is very business driven. Some of the trips she can't make it on. She is invited all the time. She's not so much in the way of me, I'm missing out on me. We all have considered Jenny our inner selves. Okay. She's our subconscious. And that, I think, is because of all the time that she spends with the other characters solo and the conversations that they have, and her mutterings where she's just like looking at the lavender popped corn and she's like, that's not enough. And all the other things that she just like kind of the utterances, you know, they're under her breath and you barely hear it. Right. That's our subconscious, and the thoughts on other people's bathrooms and dirty
weird bedspreads.
Yeah. And I wish I'd never seen that Dateline, with the black light.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
So we watch this every single year.
I can't believe it's that old.
It
just seems like yesterday.
I know. It is. I think that Rotten Tomatoes got it wrong.
I was 50 when this movie came out.
No kidding.
I get it.
And every single time we watch it, there's something new that we discover, and other questions that we have that we begin to theorize about. When does Rebecca fuck Devin? That sort of thing.
Right,
okay?
right.
When is there time for that? I could probably quote this movie. I love everything about it. Now, some dude for some stupid publication wrote they didn't have as many zingers and it wasn't quite as funny as if they would have ad-libbed. F that. Like, this was a real movie. I think it was Amy Poehler's directorial debut. Her and Emily Spivey, who plays Jenny, both came up with the idea that conceptualized this. I love it. I think everything is hilarious. Somebody had said, Lee also appreciated how there's no Apatow-enforced romantic subplot, and it feels like a film about women made by women. Yeah. That was Benjamin Lee of The Guardian. And I do feel that's what it is. And who cares? Like, why not? That's the thing, too, is is that it is a movie that I think a lot of women will enjoy. Maybe some men won't. It's why do they throw in certain subplots, the Judd Apatow romantic subplot, because you got to have something for the guy, right? If it's a date movie, maybe this isn't a date movie. It's a gal pal movie.
It is.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
And I think it exemplifies ups and downs of our relationship, how we do grow. I mean, these people have been friends for decades now. About 30 years they were working together at Antonio's in their 20s. And we all change and evolve in our own ways and together at the same time in a weird way. And there's all the sidebars. Everybody goes off and there's two people talking at one time, and they are talking about everybody in the group or Abby in the group. But what they're doing is they're not talking crap about her. They're just talking about she seems stressed out. And I think it's because they know each other so well. I think it's a fantastic friend movie. And there's going to be drama, as Lady Sunshine predicted. And Tammy, they come back together because their foundation is so strong. Right. We have cracks in our roomie trips. I mean, it's just moments in time. And it's never, I can't give you an example because that's not what I remember. That's not my takeaway.
Two things. One is, I don't really like wine. Also don't like burning sage.
Yeah, Lady Sunshine, that was the darkest tarot reading.
But it was absolutely true.
It was. And how they treated it as well.
Well, here's the thing. So Amy Poehler's character, she's out of a job. And so she really is busying herself, even though that's a lot of her personality. Yeah. And she really goes all out. The stuff that she does, like hiring a tarot card reader, like put on these T-shirts for the drone photo.
Even as far as the old menu sign from Antonio's, the pizza place in Chicago. Antonio's dead now, so we hired a DJ.
Right.
I mean, there's more shirts and all of the adventures. And the entire house couldn't have been cheap. That's a huge place.
Yeah.
It came with Devin. Devin came with the house.
Devin!
And the bus driving, which is definitely, I think they described him as when Naomi says, like, who is this again? And Catherine says, Abby's worst nightmare, because he won't just get going.
Right.
Because he's not following the itinerary. Obviously, we see Abby, this is the beginning of the film where she's booking this place and she's like, look, we can either go to Napa, someplace in Arizona, or we can go to Napa.
Right.
I vote Napa. And everyone's on the phone. And then we see Rebecca, who's the birthday girl. She's a therapist who clearly, based on everything we're gathering, all the clues, needs therapy. And I think they even say maybe the therapist needs therapy. She is in a crappy marriage that she just won't see yet.
Oh, God. What's his name? Brian?
Brian.
God.
Yeah. She also starts with, I may offer some feedback to my clients. And this is a theme that I love, is the may I offer you some feedback.
Right.
Catherine's in there. She's career driven, obviously took that path. I think she finds that validation in her job, in her work. There's a lot of projection from her. You guys aren't including me. But then they say, well, you're always on the phone.
You're not present in the moment. Yes.
She's also, I think, unaware of how she presents herself in the way of name dropping, location dropping. Always, I think, being so forward with her work and the things that she's done. We've got Naomi, the everyday parent who's in a desperate need of vacation. However, she's also looking for distraction because she's got an ominous voicemail from Dr. Melton. She has not called them back.
When all the girls make her call, put it on speaker.
Go through it with the people.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
Yeah. So she's waiting for that call on the BRCA gene test. That is one of those moments. Yeah. I could tell you, I don't like to go to the doctor because what if they tell me I'm going to die?
I don't either.
We're all going to die. But
don't
tell me the timeline.
And I had pneumonia for a week and I went for a recheck with the doctor and he said, you had pretty serious pneumonia in both lungs. Impressive.
Is that something you want to win an award for?
Listen, I always make my doctors laugh. I'm hilarious. I'm too candid. No, I'm just candid enough.
When I went to my new gyno, I was trying to make him laugh, and he didn't. And I even had to ask his nurse, whose name is Wendy. I was like, hey, does Dr. Brown ever chuckle at your jokes? And she's like, all the time. I was like, why didn't he laugh at mine? It's like that part in the movie when Val is talking about the tattoo. Lady Sunshine says, would you like this as a tattoo? She's like, I liked the death card better or whatever. Yeah. And they all laughed. And she's like, well, they laughed. That's all I want is a little chuckle.
Oh, yeah.
No, that doctor didn't. Jokes.
I don't like a male gynecologist.
He took my lady parts out, so I like him.
Okay.
Him. He saved my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, I feel way better for that. So, and then I made a formal request at that last checkup. I said, would you please be my new gynecologist? And he was like, absolutely
Oh.
And then he chuckled. So
And then he
Yeah,
chuckled.
finally. I guess we had to make it official. So after we meet Naomi, then there's Val. She's doing some stretches because she just got some new knees.
When she runs down the
See
street.
what these new knees can do. So she's a bit of a people pleaser who's always up for a good time, a little bit of a social butterfly looking for love, or at least a spirited 69ing. And then Jenny's there on the phone, and again, like our group of people were always like, who would Jenny be? And we realized that we believe is like our subconscious, and she's in scenes with just one other character usually, and tends to be kind of that voice of reason, or just maybe the sarcastic comments and things we're all thinking, like weird bedspreads. The other thing about Jenny again is like, let's take note of how neurodivergent she clearly is with all of the beverages that she's got, her coffee and her sports drink and everything. Like, we always have many beverages, correct?
Yes.
That amount of hangover when Naomi can't think of the word kettle
Yeah.
thing, and then Rebecca looks at her and she was like, are you going to take a shower? And she's like, what? Because she's wearing her hair thing. And
well, if you think about that, they've probably never spent the night in the same place.
oh, that's true. They said it's been since
if
like,
you don't
Rebecca's
know
wedding.
any black girls, you don't
Yeah, it just looks like a shower
know
cap.
that they're wearer of a babushka.
Yeah, is that what it is?
No, some kind of bonnet.
But I can only imagine waking up after that first night and having the smell of all that seafood.
Oh my God.
And stop blowing into the cuttlefish. Is it a cuttlefish or a squid? Ooh.
And he's like massaging it.
Yeah,
Had to be
slapping it.
gross. Have you ever had paella?
No, and I
It's
don't think I will if it
good.
takes 84 hours and a fuck from Devon.
Doesn't, but maybe it's because it was so huge.
Probably.
How much did he expect they were going to eat?
I think he is a guy who goes
Above
way,
and beyond.
Yes. It is always too much.
I wonder if he fucks all the guests.
Well, he fucked two of them, allegedly. Can we talk about the first night quick and everything? We find out about an itinerary on that first day.
Oh my God.
Abby's already super uptight. Where's the pool? They said there was a pool. Yep, this looks like the place. Val spends way too long in the Uber talking to the Uber driver about, doing something with his mom's ashes, forgiving his sister, and then trying a manicotti recipe.
So great.
I do that. I get that. I make connections quickly. Catherine's already on her phone talking about a big lucrative job opportunity.
And it's TV,
away.
so is she, kind of bragging again?
I think that's her life, that she's made her life her job. Her job is
A
her
lot
life.
of people do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that kind of, contributes to them growing apart. But those old friends too, it almost feels like no time has passed when you see them again. But they've gone in different directions.
Then sometimes when you have that kind of friend, you wonder, have they moved on, without you? Is your friend group as important? And I think we truly believe that it is for Catherine. She wants to be a part of it. She just doesn't know how to balance it. Abby would probably be a lot like that. However, she lost her job. And they don't know that yet. Because then Catherine tries to relate to her out at winery number 2 with the wine diamonds. And she's talking about, we're both working people. We both, that's our life, blah, blah, blah. That's what we do.
They're walking in the winery.
And they're not allowed to
Right.
because it's organic.
You don't know me. You don't know my shoes.
shoes.
They don't even give a shit about the wine.
Oh, no.
They're just like, give me the glass. We're just going to get drunk.
Like at the first one when they're like, she's like, chug it up, ladies, we gotta go. And he's like, no, that's a special Cabernet. You're supposed
Right.
to savor it. She's like, you can get that stuff online. Let's go.
Yeah, and he's like, just go to a liquor store.
Yeah.
God. Is that when she says, let's all take Molly?
No, that's the first evening after the restaurant.
Okay.
So they haven't met Tammy yet. They're going to take a photo. Naomi says, all right, everybody, look down on the count of 3. Look up. We're doing
Fresh faces.
Yeah, I try that all the time with people, and they're like, I don't understand, and they make some of the weirdest faces. And actually, some of those are my favorite photos because that is a hilarious photo.
I can't do selfies. I haven't tried the fresh face.
Oh, we have after, of course, when we watch this movie, right? Then we're just like, okay, everybody, fresh face. And then that's when they zoom in and they're like, wait a minute, is that a ghost? And boom, Tina Fey. Yes.
God, she was the best.
I don't understand the aggressive masculine female that she's playing because when she was talking about her husband, I was like, whoa, okay. I thought maybe she was also a lady golfer.
Well, maybe she is now.
Well, I think so because I think her and Catherine, she flirts with Catherine a lot. Again, this is after many rewatches.
Well, she's much better suited for Catherine than Jade.
She flirts with Catherine about the pizzas. Oh, shit, that's you? Because she talks about how she makes the cutie pie or sweetie pie pizzas.
Oh, yeah.
Pizza for one. Because what happens when you make a full pizza?
You
You're
eat
gonna
a whole
full pizza. Yeah. I think she's flirting with her when she's offering her the hangover cure. She walks over to her, approaches just her, has one green drink. She doesn't bring a tray or a jug of the green drink. That tastes like hot garbage, but helps with whatever. You know, she's like, it tastes terrible. Well, that's where the edible soap comes in. Still tastes like soap. No, it's in your mind. It's just the shape.
So gross. Why would you want that?
Yes.
A snack in the shower? What?
I don't know. And that's what her and her husband did. But then her husband died at like 49 because they sure did a lot of blow.
I think she's so masculine because she's kind of a self-sufficient woman.
Exactly. Paula Pell is also in Girls Five Eva.
Okay.
So Paula Pell plays Val. Hilarious. Okay. All around. And in Girls Five Eva, this singing group goes and they rent a cabin and it's on like Airbnb and there's a owner's room private. Like you're not allowed to go in there. And then somehow they end up breaking into that room. The owner was staying in it and it's so funny. Like, so back in it, they meet Tammy. She gives him the rundown. She says, whatever gets said, it's probably what the person has always wanted to say. The alcohol just let it out. It's like jokes are half-truths.
I've offended so many people due to alcohol and just it comes out wrong. I swear.
Who we are at the core of just being the neurodivergent individuals that we are. We think in our heads it's hilarious and it does not land. After they leave that area, that's the view that Tammy takes him. Somebody, I think Naomi suggests like, oh, we could sleep out here. And this is the first time we experience the things we say now.
Oh, God, yes.
When Abby says, well, there's no place to plug in my CPAP. And they're like, things we say now.
Fun fact on the CPAP. That was Amy Poehler's real CPAP.
I love it. Oh, man, what an uncomfortable contraption. But this is where they have to explain to Tammy because she's like, what's that? They all start laughing and they're like, oh, you know, that's our what, you know, that's what she said. And Tammy says, oh, kind of like, I got to go tend to my bees. Things we say now because I got a shitload of bees. Tammy's now on the Things We Say Now train, which I had Mel one time. I had asked her if she could make a GIF from that film because we say that to each other all the time. And so can we just send that to each other, you know, because we all know what it sounds like. And we're like, things we say now.
Yeah.
And I still say it. And may I offer you some feedback? In fact, when we were in the cave in Decorah or in Minnesota, we went to the cave with our kids and there was a little echo chamber and the gal's talking about it. She says, if you want to, you know, if you pound your chest really hard, you'll hear it echo. And I suppose because there's so many tour groups going through, they don't want people screaming and yelling. So she pounds her chest and I hear it. And I'm like, all I can think of is at the Drone Shot Winery. And they're all down in the tunnels.
We need to harmonize.
Yes. And they start harmonizing that. And so once everybody walked away, I went ahead and sang a little, may I offer you some feedback? And I'm giggling to myself. And then I was like, I can't wait to tell my roomies about that. And then I walked on through the second time and I did it a little bit louder. And it was just like, I was the only one enjoying it. But it was everything that I needed to do to fulfill just having been in that cave.
You have to.
Have to. So we are now finally like at that actual night when they're going to go out to eat. They start drinking at the house. And Val's the only red wine drinker. When I was drinking more wine, that was what I preferred was red wine.
Man, I would just end up with purple lips. Yeah.
And get really hot, like you get really warm.
The tannins.
Yes, exactly. And then they're going to go out to eat. This place looks outrageously fancy. However, they are obnoxious.
Oh, I've been in the group or maybe starting the trend of singing very loudly,
do their
closing it down.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the gifts of vibrators and just...
I was like, that is a small fortune. Those things are over $100. I don't know if other listeners know this, but...
Well, I don't, and I didn't have the experience of selling those things
like
you did.
And Wendy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah, you were our host. I never had her as a host, but I remember those times. Those were fun little parties.
Oh, they were. In the days of multi-level marketing.
Yes. They're super loud, staying till close. They interrupt Brene Brown's dinner, and she's like, we need boundaries. I'd have to say my favorite I think, line in that scene is when Naomi and Catherine are talking, and then at the end, Naomi has some bodily noises, and Catherine's like, was that a burp or a fart? And she's like, a little of both, I fear. And I have rewound it and watched it because that's just hilarious.
One of my friends says, never trust a fart over 40.
Well, Paul just says never trust a fart. I mean, I am over 40, so now that just applies. I don't have to say over 40, but never trust a fart.
And this is where they meet Jade, right?
Yes. And Val says Jade's name way too many times.
Right. Well, she's gorgeous.
Absolutely.
She's far too young. I mean, age doesn't matter, but
also the idea when she says, well, I'm a little mad at Chicago right now because her ex-girlfriend had moved there. Val's like, did you hear that? And they're like, yeah, perfect. And it's like, oh no, like, no. You just know it's not going to go well.
It's really, I guess, friend-wise, inappropriate to try to start something up when you're on vacation with your friends.
True, unless you think it might be like a one-night stand thing, but you're not doing that with your server.
Spirited
you're out
69.
That's it. I'm sorry, a one-night Spirited 69.
Servers are supposed to kind of flirt.
Yeah, that's how you make money.
I sure did. When I was working at the fair, I would just say, scoot over, and I would sit next to people in the booth.
You can get away with that.
Oh, I sure can.
My hips, I say scoot over, and they're like, whoa, excuse me, hey.
These were pretty big booths, I gotta say.
So also, we have to discuss that Val gives her number to Jade because they're folding napkins, right? So here again, this is exactly how I would be if I was like staying way too late somewhere. Is I'd be like, can I help you roll silverware and things like that?
I love rolling silverware.
I do too. It's very therapeutic.
Yeah.
Very cathartic. And that's when Jade's like, oh, I'm an artist. Can I take a picture of you? I like this beautiful light. I think she's probably already gotten her tip at this point. I think they're probably done eating. So I don't know. She's still just being maybe flirty herself. You know, she takes a photo and then tells Val to put her number in her phone, which I think is a little misleading.
Right.
Like I would have been like, give me your phone. I'll take this picture of you. You have to see it.
Right.
Also, she's like, I'm an artist. And then what she does is like, see, I put this filter on you. And I was like, girl, you think you're an influencer. That's not an artist. Instagram did that for you.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Finally leave after way too long. They get McDonald's. And that's classic.
Because they're hungry again. They've been there so long.
Well, they ate the tiny food. Remember, Jenny says, that's not enough.
Not enough.
And they decide to, party into the night when Catherine offers some Molly. Another things we say now moment is when they're like, well, how is that going to interact with the prescriptions I'm already on?
Right.
And they go on to list them.
Oh my God. Did you recognize any from your own medicine cabinet?
Yes.
Same.
Except for, what did Naomi say at the end? Like queefitude or something like that. And then she just laughs. The other thing I recognized was when Val was like, well, I tried Molly in college, but she went back to her boyfriend.
Oh, God.
Hey-o.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. Another moment of Jenny being our subconscious is when they're like, we need some music. And her and Abby are alone. And it's
so great. Nothing newer than 1990.
Yes. Yeah. You can't follow this with this. And just like you're having that conversation. I have to tell you, Jenny's a part of a lot of music conversations because there's some on the bus as well.
Oh, yeah.
So definitely, while they're playing their DUIs, like I just...
Dance party. I love it.
And then Val's boobs are out and it's like, well, I've been that. Paul has been the one. So that would be Naomi unbutton my shirt, just like, let him out. And there we were once at a hotel room in Las Vegas and I ran around the room clapping my boobs at him.
I can't clap my boobs.
So it's 2 a.m., I think, when Abby's plugging in her CPAP, falling asleep. Then they wake up the next day, and that's when they're feeling like hot garbage. And I have no idea how the hell they don't throw up.
Oh,
with
yeah.
all the seafood in the house, with the sage, with then the darkness and looking down and focusing on a tarot card.
Yeah.
And then going and getting on a bus.
Oh, God, you're right.
I couldn't do all that.
They should have done some throwing up. Done some like bridesmaid stuff.
She made it a longer trip and just had one day where they lay around and eat the rest of the McDonald's that they're finding around the house. Watching Wine Country, right?
It's just too much.
You got to recover. Wine drunk, wine hangover. I couldn't imagine. And then when they go to the first place, that's when Abby's like, well, hair of the dog. And I want to throw up while they're having that because I'm like, no way.
Right?
Hair of the dog is, it's a bloody beer for me. Little zing zang.
I like a Bloody Mary. That's why I drink Busch Light because it's just beer water.
That's why I drink Ultra Light. Because you can drink that all day, all night. You don't feel full. You can still have a little dinner because you're going to need some food and you don't feel like garbage the next day. That first winery that they're at, my favorite is, what's his name? Mason, maybe. He's behind the bar and he's like giving them a little quiz, like, what do you taste? Like, Abby's like, Rebecca's like, canned peaches. Because he goes, no wrong answers.
Yeah,
canned
right.
Peaches? He's like, no. And they're like, well, you said there's no wrong answers. Well, he's like, canned peaches. Abby's like, lemon? And he's like, yes.
Wow.
Rebecca said,
come on.
Rebecca's like, oh, I can taste it. He goes, you smell it. You don't taste it. So again, she's
God.
wrong.
Wine snobs. Have you ever seen the movie Somm? This is about a group of people getting ready to take the test to be like a master sommelier. The way that they described some of the wine was like fresh cut garden hose.
What?
Tennis balls. It's a very big deal to have that because you can taste the wine and you could go,
right?
I know where this came from. What winery?
Year?
Were they walking the winery when they were talking about Colonel Sanders' pubes?
Yes.
Gray-haired goatee.
Because that's when Naomi's talking about how she did like lasering down there. What's that going to look like when I'm older?
Right?
Yeah. And then Naomi discovers the band. And it's like, were they here the whole time? And it gets on the piano and falls off.
And there's happens to be steps up to the piano.
Oh, yeah.
But she pops right back up.
Yep.
I'm okay. Kind of thing. Yeah.
And then she falls asleep on the bus for a little while.
She's a good singer.
Yeah.
Naomi and Jenny. And they're in the hot tub and they're talking about prawns. So get this. In real life, Maya Rudolph performs along with her friend Gretchen Lieberum in a Prince cover band called Princess.
Oh my God.
Prince heard them sing and gave them thumbs up and hugs.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
Paul and I saw Prince for free in Ames that time. Did you go to
I
that
saw
concert?
Prince not for free.
Oh, yeah, it was,
around the time when I was marketed to by Citibank Visa.
Oh, no.
And we bought tickets at Yonkers.
Oh, my.
Remember that?
That is another point that I have down here about Jenny being the subconscious is her talk with Naomi in the hot tub about death and like ride or dies and would you be my Prance guitar catcher?
Can we talk about the art show?
Yeah, Fran Drescher, man.
Wait, I got it. Hold on.
Go for it.
When Jade makes the comment about how she's humbled that everybody came here on buses and things, she's not humbled. She's a dick. I was in art in college.
Yep.
Every time you had to do a critique, you had to stand up there and say shit like this. The Nanny was more than a sitcom, okay? It was a postmodern psychodrama about classism in the 1990s and ambition. You know, Fran Drescher, Fran Fine was an icon, honestly. I mean, a cultural touchstone. And they're like, God, all her art is Fran Drescher.
Yes. And then I believe Catherine had asked, something about TV. Do you even watch TV? It had nothing to do with Fran. It had to do with her job opportunity. But the one gal or one individual says like, yeah, I've seen TV in movies. And then I think they start kind of coming down on the young folks and then that individual was like, I'm taking umbrage.
Yes. I had to look
stop
it up. Did you?
I wanted to Google that.
All right. I got that too. Umbrage is a noun that refers to feeling of being offended by what someone has said or done. I'm going to take umbrage a lot now that I know a new word. Do I have to have seen The Nanny to appreciate?
I have not seen it to participate in the conversation. That actor is Paula Pell's wife in real life. Basically, they start going off on the young people, and Catherine bails, right? She's got to call her agent because nobody watches TV. Yeah. So there she is bailing again, which brings me back to Tammy and Catherine because she has to go get service, finds herself at a bar. Where the hell are they? They're in Napa, right?
Right.
How does she go into the one bar that Tammy's in? How is Tammy in the one bar that she's at?
Maybe it's the only bar there because everything else is a winery.
Maybe.
Woo-hoo! Coffee break! Let's talk about our beans.
Hey Bean Flickers, have you followed us yet? We are on Instagram and Facebook at Flickin' Beans Pod. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave us a review.
Or maybe it's the only gay bar.
That could be it. There's more flirting, and Catherine's real giggly. So Jenny says to Abby, young people blow, after she finds out that Abby basically lost her job because of the one time she couldn't get on Snapchat, and everybody saw it.
Yeah.
So this ties into all of the youth, and they're upset with them, and Naomi and Val go off on them, and how easy it is to have porn. I used to have to go down the gas station like 5 miles away or whatever. She's like, you don't know how easy you have it. So Abby, I think she finishes out the whole conversation and the whole going off, and that's at the end. She's like, we're not grouchy, we're not angry, we're fine. We're fine. And everybody goes wild thinking that, they were like, is that part of the show?
Right.
And then stupid Jade asks Val later, can you come back and do that again? God. And Val's just like, I don't know.
She is so full of herself.
Yep. I like you, Val. Oh, I like you too. And I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't actually happen like that.
No.
Like and you just met and she served you one meal. Like, no. Then she's like, I want to ask you a question. And she's like, I think I know what you're going to ask me.
So funny.
Normally it's $800, but I'll give you a deal, and sells her this enormous painting of Fran Drescher for $600, which at the end, Abby, I think, was like, what, that set you back like $50? And she's like, yeah, I don't know. You feel for Val. You know, she just wants somebody to love.
I like the painting. I would hang that up.
You would paint
I would paint that.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I painted Tony Danza, so...
It kind of ruins the day for them, because that's after they were up at that drone shot winery is when sort of everything comes to a head. Abby calls everybody out on their moments. And Catherine, of course, is like, well, I don't get one of those chill out moments or whatever where you're going to call me out. Again, projecting that like, woe is me and you guys don't want me here, which then comes to a head the next day. But we got to talk about that night when Devin's still stirring the paella and you can hear it. And I hate that noise.
Like macaroni and cheese noises. That's what you call sex.
Well, that's not what I call sex. That's adorable that you do. So, yeah. And then that's when Rebecca is like gazing out there. And I think she sees that Devin and Abby are talking. I think Rebecca has already fucked Devin at this point.
That's so great.
Because when they got on the bus earlier that day, they were like, yeah, it's her birthday. And he was like, how young are you? 21. And he like, mama or something like that. He like kind of flirts with her a little bit the way that you would expect if he was to be getting a tip. But instead, I think they got his tip. And Abby is out there with him. And so she's like, well, he's not coming in tonight. Locks the door. Her back goes out. Leads to finding her the next day.
Her back probably went out because she had all the
Probably.
sex.
That's true. That's true. On someone
Get
else's...
me up off the floor.
Get me at my finest moo-moo.
Oh, my God.
So they come in and find her, and she talks about the epiphany she had. Brian is a ding-dong, she says. And she looked into the eyes of a family of raccoons, and she locked eyes with the dad. Well, how'd you know it was the dad? You just could tell he was in charge. They get her in her finest moo-moo, and then they go off to the last surprise, which, again, all out by Abby. The recreation of Antonio's, breadsticks, pizza, shirts.
Love it.
The sign. They painted a new
Which they
mural.
could have done that without traveling.
Yes.
And it would have been a great birthday.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they paint a mural and change the statue's face to Rebecca's face.
And question, did she bring all that on the plane?
I don't know. Did she just ship it all there? That is a good question. But we haven't seen Catherine since she bailed at the art show. And then she shows up and she's like, did you guys even notice that I was gone? And they did. They were like, where'd she go? And then they all assumed she left and had to go to work and do her work stuff. And then that's when Naomi brings out the slow clap twice. The DJ starts playing music and they're like, cut it. He's
Stop
like,
it.
oh, she was clapping.
Yeah.
It's a slow clap. Come on. They all basically, it's a dual storm out by Naomi and Abby because they're both pissed off and mad and life sucks. Somehow they got Rebecca on that golf cart really fast. And they drive out there and then Naomi gets bit by a snake.
Yes.
Val, of course, she wants to be the hero and save the day.
Right.
There's a truck down there, so she's going to go down the hill, and she takes the biggest tumble.
It's so great.
Sits
it's
up.
so great.
The guys take off in the truck, and then she's down there like, I'm okay. And then Jenny takes a big swig, and she starts going down that hill. My favorite detail was that she puts her thumb.
She doesn't spill a drop.
Nope. She puts her thumb over that wine bottle. And then they're like, did she ski as a kid? She goes down this steep hill and steep embankment, does not fall, doesn't trip, doesn't spill a drop of wine.
That's awesome.
And everybody eventually goes down. When Rebecca goes down, her back is fixed. Catherine's at the top. And of course, I'm by myself again. Takes a phone call because she's got service. Turns down the opportunity because she wants to spend time with her friends, make some life changes. Tries to have this big moment. and they can't hear a word she's saying. Drops down the hill. They end up at the hospital. And Doogie Howser comes in and grins as he's giving it's not a venomous snake. It was probably a twig diagnosis.
Come on.
And Abby's just like, thank you very much. Good day. We're done here. And he's like, okay, thank you. It's like, if I find out that there is any venom in there, I am going to come back and you are going to personally suck that out. I don't know what's going on here, he says.
Oh my God.
But guess who shows up at the stupid hospital? Tammy with flowers.
Of course.
Gives them to Catherine, who smiles and says, they say, do you need that taxi? She says, my friend will take us home, or my friend will drive us. Oh, didn't know we were using the F word.
How did she know they were at the hospital?
Heard on the scanner there were six
right,
middle-aged women.
That's
and
right.
had to know it had to be you guys. But then she's everywhere. And then she's offering advice.
Maybe
Catherine
she's
at the bar.
lonely.
She says she likes being alone.
Oh.
Catherine brings it up at the bar.
It doesn't seem like it.
I know. Catherine's going to probably move in there. Good thing she didn't take that TV show because they're going to do a lot of lady golfing together. Then they have that classic scene where they walk out in the slow motion, big gust of wind. And that's actually probably legitimately how it is because when you walk out of a hospital, double doors.
Oh, yeah.
And that second set of doors are to go to the outside. Big gust of wind. And they're all standing there like Abby's wearing overalls and they're in their shirts and then they go up to the hill and they have that night out. There's lanterns that again Abby organized. That's where they reveal that she fucked Devin, and then Rebecca's like, I too fucked Devin. Tammy stays. She has another things we say now moment when she says, now make sure you ping pong between water and wine. That helps with the hangover. And then she's like, hey, is that one of those things we say now moments? And
She gets it right, finally.
So she finally got it right. I love this movie.
It's a great ride.
I'm not going to drink wine anytime soon.
No, I don't like it.
But I do love all the knickknacks that they buy at the store. Jenny walks out with that giant glass. She's like, I spent $700 in there. Just everything about this film. I think a vacation in Napa would be fun, but I'm not going to go and drink the wine.
No.
And when I go to a winery, they're not going to have ultralight. So
We'll go to Napa and go to the gay bar.
The one.
Yeah, the
where
one.
Tammy's at.
The one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So overall, I'm going to keep watching that movie.
Of course.
I even watch it when I'm not with my friends.
I love when you have a favorite movie and you could just put it on like Saturday afternoon, not even look at it. You're doing dishes and you're saying the lines along with it.
Overboard. That's another one of those for me.
I like View from the Top. Gwyneth Paltrow and Mark Ruffalo. I was in a real hot Mark Ruffalo phase for a while.
That. I do recall that. In fact, anytime I see him advertised for anything, I think of you.
Oh.
There's a show on HBO Max that he's going to be a part of. It's like The Task or something, or Task Force or something. And I don't think there's anything special. It's just there's Mark Ruffalo's face. And immediately I'm like, Bridget.
Hilarious. Oh my God. I love
That's an adorable little match for the two of you. I would like that.
Did we do it?
I think we did it.
We flicked some beans.
Bye. Love you.
Loved having you here.
Thank you for having me.
It was a blast.
Love you.
Bye.